Hello and welcome. You are listening to the At Home with Ifeno podcast. This podcast is for anyone, male and female, who believes that the home is the cornerstone and foundation of a flourishing society and a better world. Here, we'll guide you through the intricate journey of building a home that's not just a physical space. Whether you are single, preparing to share your life with another, a couple cultivating a shared dream, or parents tending to the garden of their children's hearts. Every other week, we'll talk about topics like practical tips on managing family finances, creating a beautiful home, conversations on courtship, marriage, parenting, and much more. The At Home with Ifeno podcast offers a rich tapestry of inspiration and support. Join us as we explore creating homes where love resides, families thrive in wisdom, and the seeds of a brighter future are sown, just as God intended. Hello, and welcome to At Home with Ifeno podcast. How are you today? I know that is like a cliche, but I honestly want you to drop in the comment section how you are doing. How are you? How is your family? How is business? How is work? How are you holding up despite the uncertainties in the world we live in? You know, you don't need to survive. You can thrive despite the obstacles, despite the odds, because we have something in us, yes, innate, that God has put in us as human beings to rise above challenges and to excel. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are connecting with us. And it promises to be an amazing time today on At Home with Ifeno, a continuation of our marriage series we had some weeks ago, 2 weeks ago to be precise. And today we will continue in that line. So please take your sweet spot where there will be no distractions and give us your listening attention. It promises to be worth the investment of your time. So let me ask something quietly. Let me just put out a question as I begin today's episode. Have you ever noticed how two good people can still feel far apart in a marriage? I want you to look at yourself, dear listener, and maybe you've seen one or two couples that, could fit into this description. But this episode is not about pointing the accusing finger, but it's for every one of us, including Ifeno, to take stock of their relationship, to look at if our marriages are suffocating or we are breathing. So in this marriage where two good people live and they still feel far apart, there's no shouting, there's no betrayal, no dramatic crisis. You don't see them, go physical or an outburst that is very obvious. Yet something still feels tight. These two people are both responsible. They care about their children. They show up for life. But somewhere within or between the schedules of their life, between the parenting, between paying bills, church activities, and the tired evenings after work or business, the marriage itself, starts to feel like it's running on a duty roster instead of connection. Everything seems to be going on well, but it starts feeling mechanical. And many of us couples, we don't even realize when this shift happens, when this mechanical connection comes into our relationship, because we have put our hearts in this default mode and we feel everything is okay. But nothing has exploded, they're just going slowly. But like I said, it becomes mechanical. We are good at logistics. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. But do you feel that your relationship is tight? You seem not to be breathing very well, or you are rarely breathing as a couple. And the interesting thing is, marriages don't suffer because, there are no rules or people don't know what they should do as couples. Couples suffer because there are too many rules and not enough rhythm. So there could be rules in some people's marriages, but I want to talk about what I have called rhythms over rules. Rhythms over rules. Designing a marriage that breathes. Designing a marriage that is not suffocating. So if your marriage is more of rules and regulations, then you will just be managing your behavior. But for rhythms, which is my suggestion, rhythms will nurture your marriage. And if we are not careful and intentional as couples, we can build a marriage that looks technically okay. In fact, you are the go-to person when people want to give examples of that, perfect match and things look so fantastic. But emotionally, you are exhausted. Today, I want to show us how we can slow down and talk about something very simple but yet powerful. On our last episode, I talked about the sacred 15, having 15 minutes with your spouse intentionally, taking off all the distractions. Now, having that 15 minutes is not supposed to be seen as a rule that if you don't have 15 minutes, you could even have 5 or 10 minutes. But the idea is staying connected daily and as consistent as possible, despite our busy schedules and the world. So that was what that sacred 15 is. Today, I want to bring rhythm, what I call rhythm. So rhythm is not forced. It's something that flows like a pattern. So how do we design a marriage that is not suffocating? How do we design this marriage that is breathing? Just like even as human beings, we breathe in and out, unconsciously. We don't just wait and see, okay, am I breathing now? Except someone maybe that is in a critical health condition. So we are looking for how our marriage we're not looking for a performance or a perfect marriage. We're not looking for a marriage that is going to impress social media like it's everywhere now. We are just looking for the truth. We are looking for healthy marriages, that are not just rigid and so stiff. We are looking for marriages that have learned that rhythms of returning to one another again and again. Yes, we will fall, but we'll rise and continue. So, have you ever been in a room with no windows? Imagine it. You are enclosed in a room and there's no window, no outlet of air. Do you know that is how many of our marriages are today over the years? And this is very dangerous. It is something that we must pay attention to and see how we can open the windows. If there are no windows in your marriage, in your relationship, today I am inviting you to open the windows. And how we can open the windows in our marriages is by introducing rhythms, not rules. Rhythms that will help design our marriages to breathe. So let me just give a little definition of what a rhythm is. A rhythm is a natural repeating pattern that gives flow, balance, and continuity. So a rhythm is not rigid. a rhythm is not fixed. There is a flow, just like how you have water flowing. If you look at the waves, just like when you are even singing music, for those of us that are musically inclined, so there is a pattern that your notes follow as you sing. So a rhythm is natural, it flows, is spontaneous, and it repeats a pattern, and it gives flow, balance, and it continues. This is what we want to introduce into our marriages so that our marriages will breathe and not suffocate. A rhythm is something that returns regularly, not because you forced it to happen, and because it is life-giving. It's something that it is worth taking note of. So let me give examples of rhythms. Like I said, your breathing has rhythm, your heartbeat has rhythm. Do you know that day flowing into the night and night into the morning is actually an example of rhythm? So the day does not struggle and say, oh, my time is up, night is coming. No, it just flows. You just see it. It's a pattern that repeats itself day in, day out. The sun will set without you running out to go and put it in its place. It will just flow. And this is what we want our marriages to be. We do not want it to be so tight and like we are in a regimented place. We are not in a courtroom as a couple. We are actually in a garden. We are tending our hearts. We are building a home. We are building our lives together. So rhythm is what keeps life steady and alive. While rules are instructions. Don't get me wrong, there are places where rules should be very important, especially when we are giving our family a structure in raising a family. But I'm now talking about our relationship as couples. I want us to pay attention wherever we are seeing more of rigidity. Know that it is about rules. So you could say, yes, okay, Ifeno, you talked about the sacred 15. So my spouse and I decided that, okay, we would have our sacred 15 from 9 p.m. to 9:15. Do you know that there will be days where you can't keep to that 9 p.m. to 9:15? Things will happen, something will come up. But even if you can't have that 9 to 9:15, as long as you connect, even if it is 5-10 minutes, hope your day went well. And you are asking this question not watching TV. You are asking this question not trying to scroll and catch up on what's happening on WhatsApp. No, you are looking at yourself and honestly asking, even if it is 5 minutes, and you know that at least you are on the same page with your spouse. So this is why rhythms are very important, and they are what we need to introduce to our marriages. They are repeated. There's no pressure. We are not looking for perfection. We are just looking for how to intentionally return to our spouses, intentionally be connected, to our spouses, so that our marriages don't suffocate and we are gasping for air. So nothing happens by accident. So if we want rhythms in our marriages, we need to be intentional about it. So rules are not bad, like I earlier said, but we need that rhythm. We need the flow. A marriage that is built on only rules, will start feeling like a contract. It will start feeling transactional. You will not see the connection between you and your spouse. So this is why rhythms over rules will help our marriages breathe. Let our marriages breathe. Let us not suffocate. And wherever we have closed all the windows, please, if anyone is saying, open the window of your marriage so that you can enjoy your union with your spouse. So a rhythm, like I said, is something you return to, and it can be seen in different ways, in the way we greet ourselves when we come back from work, in the way we resolve, conflicts, how we solve the problems that come our way, in the way we check in emotionally. We don't need to say goodbye in the morning, everyone is going to their business or their work, and we are not even checking up. I know it might sound ifeno, I don't have that time, but one person can initiate it. You could send, messages, short messages, checking up on your spouse during the course of the day. For those of us that are so busy, this is one way we can do that, So let it not just be that you left your spouse in the morning and it is until you see yourselves in the evening, that is when you are communicating. And communication is one of the very important ways that we can cultivate these rhythms in our homes. We need this oxygen in our marriage, and rhythms will really help. So we don't wait until things go so bad before we realize that what is happening. This is a partnership and not a contract. This is not just signing papers. We are not business partners. We are a couple. We are a pair, and we are under God's institution, marriage. So we should not allow our marriages to suffocate. So rhythms that will help our marriages breathe. I want us to be practical now. So we've gotten it that we are looking out for rhythms over rules. We do not want our marriages to suffocate. The first rhythm I would share with us today is called the daily return. The daily return. So no matter how busy your day was, you need to come back to each other. Some couples don't look forward to coming back home. As sad as that may sound, that is not how it is supposed to be. That is not God's design. Yes, things have happened, but I just came to reassure you that there is hope, and God is ready to restore your home. Wherever you feel dryness, wherever you feel stiffness, I speak life to as many as are listening to today's episode, that the rhythms will be restored in your home, that there will be flexibility, that it will be a flow, that you will keep returning to each other. So the daily return is, you need to ask yourself, beyond that cliche or that default greeting, how was your day, and you just give a general statement. No. Instead of asking your spouse, did you do that? Did you pay the bill? Did you run that errand? No. Ask each other, how was your day? What happened today? What were the challenges that you faced? Were you able to solve them? What are the situations concerning the business or at work? What happened with the children? I hope everyone is doing well. You need to check in on yourself every day. This doesn't need to be long. It could just be 5 minutes, and it could change the tone of your home. It could change the atmosphere. And this builds safety. When we do this daily, the daily return, you look forward to coming back home. You look forward, you've gone out and it's like a battle, and you are coming back home, to rest, to relax, and to meet with your partner, to encourage each other, because both of you would have faced different things during the course of the day. So it's a time to listen and then to strengthen each other, not to give up. And that even if you've not found the answer to the problem or the challenges you have faced, you have that belief that you would find a solution. Two are better than one. So that is why you got married. You didn't get married. Yes, you got married, you have children, and you feel that you need to work to pay the bills. But beyond the bills, you need to nurture your relationship as couples. So the first rhythm is the daily return. Make sure that you daily return, and not just the physical return, but emotionally. Let the gap be bridged. You and your spouse, even if you have a misunderstanding, don't allow it to linger. So there should be a daily return so that both of you are on the same page. And if it is something that you need to pray about, why not? After sharing and your concerns and everything that happens daily, speak to one another and commit it to God. You never know what will happen. So please, let us intentionally not just give my day went well and that's the end. Please, let's be vulnerable and be honest to ourselves. The second rhythm is the conflict reset rhythm. So in some homes, in some marriages, there's a rule that says we don't sleep angry. We don't go to bed angry. But sometimes you could be so tired that you might not be able to resolve the issue that evening, or that day. So sometimes you or your spouse might need space. I have learned that even in my marriage. So you might need space. Some of us, we think about, the situation, we brood over it, but whatever it is, just make sure that you are able to come to a meeting point. So a reading will say when we have a conflict that we can't, or we will not ignore the conflict. So you should always come back and see how you can resolve the issue. Let us not sweep things under the carpet. It's dangerous because it will be piling up and it will be like a ticking bomb, which we don't want to explode one day and lead to something disastrous. So we should have a conflict reset rhythm. How do we solve problems? So in order to remove the pressure, let us see how we can resolve situations without sweeping it under the carpet. This is one of the rhythms that will allow our marriages to breathe and not suffocate. Don't close all the windows. Don't shut your spouse out of your life, no matter the challenges you both have gone through. The third rhythm is the check-in rhythm. Every few months of the year, you could be quarterly. Ask yourself, so how are we really doing as a couple? I know this might sound strange to a lot of us, but like I said, it's our month of our restoring our marriages. No matter how old you have been in marriage, there is always hope as long as you have life. Even if you feel your marriage is dead and gone, no, there is hope as long as you have decided that, okay, you want to make it hot. So let's check up on ourselves monthly, or even if it's not monthly, quarterly. Yes, we have family goals. Yes, we have couple goals, but beyond just writing it or saying it. So let's check on ourselves because life is very interesting. You plan a lot, which is not bad, but things happen, and if we're not careful, we are drifted apart, and we need to still see how the rhythms of our marriage will bring us back. So one of the rhythms is to check in on ourselves monthly or quarterly and find out how we're really doing. So this is a way of preventing, that drift. This is what I call preventive care. You are showing up just like you will service your car. You don't wait for your car to completely break down to a very bad state before you service it. You don't wait for it, for the engine to knock before you realize that, you need to check on your oil, your water, and your tires and alignment. No, this is the same thing we need to do in our marriages. And it comes through this rhythm, the rhythm of checking in. Not when you are having a disagreement. No, that is not when you should be checking on yourself. But you should intentionally see how you can check up on yourself beyond the duties, beyond the responsibilities of raising children, of paying bills. Your life is beyond all this. They are important, but we need to find that balance and that rhythm so that our marriages will not suffocate to death. Because two good people can be living in the same house and everything seems to be going on well, but there is a big drift and gap. The fourth rhythm I would like us to also try. Please, we can go over everything we're talking about because you will not get it once. That's the truth. You need to listen to this over and over and see what you can chip. It is not about, she said we should have rhythms and then you want to introduce everything immediately. No, you need to do it gradually. You need to do it gently, so that it is not bringing friction. So the fourth rhythm is the fun rhythm. When was the last time you and your spouse honestly had a good laugh? Maybe you remember something that happened years ago between yourselves, and when you look at it, maybe just looking at your pictures, or sometimes I do it. I send some very old pictures, and when I send it to my husband, he's like, where did I get this picture from? And we have a laugh over it because we've seen that we've grown, we are changing. It sometimes even has to do with the children's pictures or things. So you need the fun reading. You need to look for something that will make you both laugh, because fun is not childish. No, you need that fun to be added to your marriage. A lot of marriages are so serious. Everyone looks like they're in the military barracks. So serious. But you need to incorporate fun in your marriage. Look for things that will make you laugh, because it's actually oxygen to your marriage. Like we said, we want readings that would cause our marriages to breathe. We don't just want rules and regulations that will stiffen us, make us so hard. And if we continue that way, we could break, and we don't want our marriages to get broken. So introduce the fun reading, introduce the check-in reading. Don't wait until a crisis happens before you find out how your spouse is doing. And the fifth one is the rest reading. Rest is very important. We live in a world where, and particularly in the part of the world where I come from, where even to go on leave is almost a problem for many of us, and this is not good. Even God demonstrated this pattern, that after you have worked, you should have time to rest. Rest restores our strength. Rest rejuvenates our cells, our bodies. And it is the same thing even for your marriage. Rest is not laziness. Rest is maintenance. And it is a rhythm that we need to introduce to our marriages. We cannot just work, and not take breaks. And when we say take breaks, please let us really take breaks. Let's leave our phones. Let's leave our devices. There was a time we didn't have these devices with us. So we need to intentionally rest as a couple. Keep the phones down, shut them down, and spend time to rest, so that it will strengthen your marriage. It will help your bodies to continue to work and do what you need to do. Rest is spiritual renewal. Rest is important. You need to shut down yourself shut out yourself from the noise. Have that quiet time, reflective personal space. You need it. And for my stay-at-home mothers especially, if a particular person, a spouse, is constantly depleted, your marriage will not breathe. If your wife is a stay-at-home mom, for the men, please, and you see that she's always working, whenever you see that she needs that break, please give her the break. Initiate the break for her. Because many times as stay-at-home moms will just feel, oh, we need to do one more thing. We need to do this. And if we break down, the house will suffer. That's the truth. So please introduce the rest reading. There are sometimes you might not be able to go for all the programs. You might not be able to do everything. Please, in order for you to last long and for your marriage to also last, introduce the rest reading. So sometimes the rules we introduce in our marriages, they fail. And why they fail is because they are actually borrowed. So now I'm talking about rules now. So rules often fail because we got these rules from somewhere else. We got the rules from social media, which is the issue that we have on ground that we are battling with. Don't get me wrong, social media has its place. There are things you can learn, but we should not live our lives there, because that is actually not real life. This is being as I am just being myself. So the rules we get that fail many times comes from social media, from society, from even culture or church culture, or even our parents. So what works for one couple may choke another. This is where you must guard against comparison. What works for your sister or your brother's marriage might definitely not work for you. It could choke you. So some couples are good at talking constantly, and some, they feel that silence helps them. Some couples express love verbally, some through action. So if you try to copy another person's structure without designing your own rhythm, what will happen is that you will feel like you are performing marriage instead of living it. Marriage is not a performance, it's life. And performance is exhausting. Performance is exhausting. So for a marriage that will breathe, you are not someone to copy and paste. You need to understand yourself and your spouse. You need to understand the uniqueness of your marriage and find out the rhythms that will work with you and how to go about it. These are just suggestions. The rhythms I've talked about, the rest reading, the daily check, the check-in, the conflict reset reading. All these are suggestions of what can help our marriages to breathe. Find out what will work for you and allow it to flow. Let it become a pattern consistently done. And you'll find out that without even thinking, just like you sleep and wake up without thinking, just like you breathe without thinking, so should our marriages flow on rhythms that will cause us to thrive and bloom as a couple. So you need to know how to design your own rhythm. Why? So that your marriage will breathe. So if you want to design your rhythm, I have 4 questions that could help you think about how and what will work for you and your spouse. When do you feel most connected as a couple? So if you want to design your rhythm, ask yourself honestly these questions. When do you feel most connected as a couple? 2, when do you feel most distant as a couple? You need to understand there are times when you can't bring up things you want to talk about with your spouse. So you need to understand the time that you and your spouse will be on the same page. You cannot just rush in and just dish out what you want. No, you need to understand yourselves over time and then know when to bring up things that you would like to discuss. What small habits makes you feel close as a couple? What are the activities or the things that you do, that help you connect very well? You need to know that. And then, what is the pattern that keeps hurting you as a couple? What is that thing that you are doing that is not helping your marriage? So, when you want to design your rhythm for your marriage that will help your marriage to breathe, you need to consider this: the time you feel most connected, the time you feel distant, the things that bring unnecessary arguments and causes hurt. You need to understand your partner, and this takes time. So for us to introduce the rhythms that will make our marriages breathe, we need to start small. You can't do everything immediately. Like I said, start gradually, one rhythm at a time. Maybe it could be, today is Friday that this episode is ending. Maybe you could decide to have a Friday evening drink together, whatever it is, 10 minutes nightly recap of how your day went, a monthly state of us talk. We could do monthly talks. Okay, so the month has ended. How did this month go for us? Like I said, this is without children, without TV, without our phones. Have this honest conversation, not trying to correct, yourselves, but seeing where you need to make adjustments and work together as a team. You could have Saturday or Sunday afternoon walk, just small reading, small, consistent changes that could create a beautiful emotional climate over your marriage and your home. And like I always say, that whatever you do to improve your marriage, it has a ripple effect on the well-being of your children and your entire home. So The rhythms are actually to create a climate that we encourage growth as a couple. This is not about perfection. This is not about comparison. This is not about pressure. This is to allow our marriages to breathe, to open the windows. Like I asked, have you ever been in a room where there's no window? Everywhere feels so tight. And if you're not careful, you might faint. We don't want our marriages to collapse and faint. So if your marriage feels tight right now as I speak, I have come to say, open the window, open a window. And you open a window by introducing rhythms, not rules. You open a window by introducing things, patterns that will help your marriage thrive and flow. Not blaming, not making 20 rules, no, but introducing one life-giving rhythm, one at a time. You don't need a dramatic reset for this to happen. You just need this gentle returning. Remember what I said about rhythms. It flows, it's life-giving, and it continues to come back to itself without being forced. So marriage is not a courtroom. Marriage is not a military zone. Marriage is a garden. And in a garden, what do? You plant the seeds by introducing these rhythms. You water it, you weed it, you remove the things that are blocking. Try to see how you don't allow things to come into your time with your partner, no distractions. And gardens thrive, with so many things put in together. That is how our marriages need to also thrive. We need to water it. We need light in our marriage. We need to keep at it and not give up so that our marriages will breathe. So today, I invite you to choose a rhythm over rigidity, over rules. Choose connection, dear listener, over control. Our dear husbands, we know that you are the head. Please, this is not about control. This is about connection. That's what marriage is about. Choose a marriage today that breathes and introduce rhythms that will help it thrive and not suffocate. If this episode has really, really been of use to you, of benefit to you, could you help me share it with your spouse and listen to it together later? Listen to it together and see how it could help your marriage breathe. And also send this to a friend that is married, either a husband or a wife, and spread the good news that our marriages need to breathe. We do not want it to suffocate. So just see how you can have the sacred 15, reclaiming connection in our marriages so that we do not drift apart, even though we are living together. We do not want to realize when our children are out of our homes as empty nesters that we were not connecting. We were just running our marriage like a business transaction. This is not what we want. So we want to breathe. Open the windows. Remember, strong marriages are not the ones that are so rigid and are so structured. Strong marriages are the ones that keep coming to each other, returning to one another through introducing rhythms, observing their sacred 15, and allowing their marriages to breathe and to reclaim the connection in marriage. Thanks for joining us this week on the At Home with Ifeno podcast. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17 and on YouTube at Home with Ifeno podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch every new episode and leave us a comment so we can build a strong community. See you in 2 weeks' time.